下一家亲，平安时要互爱，灾难来临时要互助。We are connected like one big family. Therefore, love each other during peaceful times, and help each other when calamities strike.
这些数字代表什么意义？这是世界上每天挨饿的人数。这些人正走向饥饿边缘。有这么多人无法获得营养的食物，但体重超重或肥胖的却有这么多人。还有这么多食物遭到浪费。这些数字存在于同一颗地球上，却是饥饿与饱足之间最难拉近的距离。
那么多苦难人，我们物资如何能供应到了人人饱足呢？实在是还是有一段很长的距离。所以在呼吁啦，富有的人呐，那会当吃8分饱，吃8分饱，2分救人好。
面对粮食问题，在台湾有许多善心人士及公益团体纷纷贡献一己之力。有些人将重心放在提供粮食给需要的人。台南市东胜里里长找店家提供爱心餐，由里长评估后提供免费餐券给社区需要的人。
当脚棍较无好行，寒较无法，按较方便啦。
尽一份自己所能够做到的本分而已。对，这个大家一起做是对社会一个很好的贡献。
有些人设法帮助弱势族群自助助人，让一份餐盒发挥2种作用。喜憨儿基金会举办爱心餐盒募集活动，将民众认购的餐盒送往偏乡小学。
我们把这种公益活动扩大，就是说你来帮我们喜憨儿买我们的餐盒，到偏乡去送给偏乡的孩子或者部落的孩子。这样子的话呢，你可以让我们憨儿有得到足够的工作，有收入，而且可以让偏乡部落的孩子他们可以得到他们的餐盒。
有些人则将注意力放在如何减少浪费粮食，并让食物去到需要它的人手中。根据统计，台湾每天被丢弃的厨余量高达4600公吨，因此有卖场为了珍惜食物，选择这样做。
卖场这一些顾客可能已经没有销售魅力，就可能顾客走过去不可能会拿回家买的这些东西，我们把它整理完，然后发送给各个地区跟我们配合的食物银行。
这些对我们来讲都是非常宝贝的。为什么？因为我们的乐活园地，我们一天中午晚上加起来，我们要供到200个餐。
要解决世界粮食分配不均及浪费的问题，不仅只分享粮食资源给需要的人，更要从源头减少过度购买造成的浪费。因此，正言上人提出更全面积极的做法：8分饱，2分助人好。 1988年，孟加拉发生当地史上最严重的风灾之一，逾6000人罹难，并造成超过1300万美元的损失，灾民流离失所，亟待救援。对比台湾的平安和乐，上人于当年的药师法会首次提及8分饱、2分助人的理念，恳切叮嘱弟子要共聚善业，造福人间。
咱呢，那食8分饱呢，你2分我2分，伊2分，咱人搁再甲伊欠一个2分呐。这话来呢，这少数人呐，因就会当头得到呢差不多的营养啊。佛陀出现在人间啊，就是要启发咱人富有的人生，用咱的爱布施咱的财力，由咱的财力呢，通好来安定苦难中的众生，这就是佛陀的教育。
2008年北韩粮荒，600万人缺粮，评估需要140万吨的粮食救援。同年，慈济人来到玻利维亚赈灾。玻利维亚为中南美洲最贫穷的国家，且贫富差距悬殊，70%的国民日均收不到1美元，30%的国民收入却是平民的40倍。面对分配不均的粮食与财富，上人再次呼吁全球慈济人惜粮，吃8分饱，留2分助人。
人间啊，咱所看到饥饿中的人，所以咱才都应该呢，要赶紧啊，紧自我反省。咱有通食，咱有浪费啊无？浪费呢，就要赶紧忏悔哦。啊，就是有通食呢，咱欠一口饭起来啦。咱若要食10分饱，食8分饱，8分饱呢是健康之道啊。8分饱，咱会当留2分来帮助人。咱平常时啊，伫咧浪费啊，开钱，安尼，咱是毋是甲欠起来？大家人来集合起来，咱来为遮尔正多的国家啦，遐尔正多的苦难人，咱来为因付出，安尼毋知要偌好咧。所以，咱来不断来呼吁，看会当通免除了人间啦，饥饿中、受灾中的众生。所以咱爱时时体悟，所以呢，动体大悲啊，人饥我饥啊，人伤我痛啊，人苦我悲啊。
I touch it.
Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
Alright. What's your favorite food ever? This is tough. Salad, mac and cheese, pancakes, and popcorn. My dad's steak, pizza. So good. What food do you dislike most? I hate cheese. Vegetables, spinach, tomatoes.
What's a face you make when you eat raw tomato?
I don't eat it at all. What do you do when someone gives you food you don't like? Play with it until it got cold. I'll say, hey, what's that? They look that way. Right, because if it was gross, then why would I want to eat it? Did you know that 1 out of every 5 kids doesn't have enough food to eat? 1 out of 5. 1 out of every 5 kids.
Can you turn the bag around and look at the other side?
I didn't know it was in America. I don't know what to say to that. Makes me feel bad. Makes me want to cry. Wow. That's a lot of kids. It's kind of unfair because some people have too much stuff and some people have too little.
For me, I always get to eat lunch. And if that's a meal that I'm missing, I will feel very disappointed.
It makes me feel like, what are we gonna do to fix this?
What is something we can do to help fight hunger together?
So over there we have a wall with tons of ideas, and we want to add your idea to the wall.
Kids could think, oh, that's not possible, or oh, I'm too young to do this. But it is possible, and you're not too young to do it.
Donate money as much as I can.
Make Thanksgiving every day.
We should all get a group and try to find the foods that would be easiest to give.
And we can take the food to homes where they don't have food.
That's a small way to have a big effect.
Post videos about children not being able to eat. Everyone brings canned food and they build a big fort. And then they donate all the canned food.
And then they could have everything for free.
If there was some machine that could make food, my machine would change it to 0 to 5 kids being hungry. The tiniest ripples make the biggest waves. If all the kids in the world got together and did something big, they could impact the whole world.
I'm a single working mom. I work 40 hours a week, sometimes more. I'm raising 2 girls, Ashley, who's 8, and Elizabeth, who's 5, which is a big burden with daycare expenses and that with working all the time.
I'm like hungry when it's bedtime, but I never ask because I always know we need food for the next day. Yeah, I'm hungry a ton.
This year's been the most difficult year for us. Took the car in to find out that's $500. Okay, how do I pay for that? And put food on the table. At the end of the month, what's left for food is between $50 to $100. I mean, it gets really tough. You know, being a parent now myself, knowing the expectations and the dreams you have for your kids, knowing that you don't want them where you're at. Food insecurity is not knowing how long what you have in the cupboard is gonna last, if you're gonna have enough in the next paycheck to get the next 2 weeks worth until the next paycheck comes. There has been times where here's a bag of popcorn that you guys 2 can split. Oh wait, we're still hungry. We ate dinner. We had popcorn for dinner, kids.
When it comes to food, I take care of Beth. I'm more like a mother. At school, sometimes in the hall, she's like dragging herself because she's hungry.
All right, girls, dinner's ready.
One thing I love is salad, but we never have enough money for it.
I do worry about whether or not they are eating healthy enough. They probably should get more fruits and vegetables. Busy day today. Get your coat. I think people don't realize how many people do struggle because it doesn't look like the typical place you would expect people to be struggling in. It took me a year to go to Missions for All Nations food pantry. I was already charging groceries to the credit card. In order to get out of this vicious cycle, there has to be something. Let's see if we can get to a better place.
Okay, here's a form for you. If you could just fill out the front side.
Just have to swallow your pride to walk through those doors to admit in some ways you have failed.
Jennifer?
I can't believe I'm here, that I'm in this situation.
It feels sad because we don't get the food we want, but happy because we at least get some food.
I work, I'm making decent money, but if it's not one thing, it's another. This could happen to anybody at any time because you never know. You have one thing on top of another, till it just seems to spiral out of control and then you're in need. Free time's a lot of volunteering here and there for help and assistance because then I don't feel like I'm abusing it. Helping out not only helps the other people, but it also does help us with being able to take home those food packages when we need them. Do volunteer other places too to help make ends meet.
You can see all these different people who are in need. I I feel sad for them, but I also feel happy that they can at least get some food, some comfort. As long as we have enough, I'm happy. That's all you really need.
Share the story of one group that's already provided meals to hundreds of thousands and plans to feed many more. Will Carr starts us off.
In rural America, where you have to get old-fashioned directions after you pass Gun Barrel Lane. Hey, Julie, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Families like Julie Estes Gibbs in Maybank, Texas, are struggling.
Life in general is crazy right now. We weren't able to get more than a gallon of milk at the grocery store, and that lasts about a day with this many kids. I go through 5 dozen eggs a week, so I resorted to getting my own chickens that are already laying, and the kids take care of those. That's a project for them. They really love it.
Julie is a school teacher with 6 kids, including 3 who she adopted. That's a lot of mouths to feed.
It is. I have 6 kids, and there's 5 growing boys, so they like to eat a lot. They put a lot of food away.
In Kennett, Missouri, Bobby Noblin's husband just got laid off. They have 3 boys.
Financially, it's such a strain to have everyone home at the same time.
And they're not alone. Today's unemployment numbers highlight what so many families already know. Millions of Americans are now suffering the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. Last week, just shy of 3 million people filed for unemployment, bringing the total number since the crisis began to 36.5 million Americans. By far, the biggest loss in American history. The economic catastrophe is so deep, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is warning Washington that if Congress and the White House don't provide more economic relief, the economy could be permanently damaged. While Washington debates how to move forward, a public and private initiative spearheaded by Baylor University in Texas and the USDA has ramped up an initiative called Meals to You, which started as a pre-COVID-19 program last year to help feed kids in rural America.
Hunger, even before this pandemic, we had 40 million Americans who are food insecure. And so hunger and poverty are too big for any one sector or any one organization to address by themselves.
After the crisis started, though, with the help of the Federal CARES Act, the program has scaled up exponentially.
We have 5 production lines back here with our employees, and each line can produce 800 meals in 5 minutes.
Inside this warehouse, you have stacks and stacks of food, including juice boxes, different types of cereals. And when you add it all up, you're talking about millions of meals going to families all across the country every week. How many meals can you put together a week right now?
We can put together 5 million meals a week.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. We do it across 3 different locations.
The food starts in this massive McLean Global warehouse in Houston, Texas.
Right now, the program is going to get about 500,000 children in it.
Each box, which is packed with 20 meals, is loaded onto UPS trucks, then shipped out to 38 states and Puerto Rico.
They send you milk that can last in the pantry rather than a refrigerator, which is kind of neat. I just want to thank these groups so much. It's such a blessing, not just for myself, but just knowing other kids are going to get food provided for them.
Hey. No, there's supposed to just be one. Look.
You want them at the front door?
Sure, that'd be great. Yay!
We were there when Julie Estes Gibbs and her 6 kids back in Maybank, Texas, got their latest delivery.
We got some cereal.
We talk about when the boxes come, it's like Christmas morning because they're anxious to open them and sort them and see what they got.
What do you want to say to all the people who helped get you this food?
Thank you. And thank you for all your hard work and your dedication to kids that you don't even know.
Yeah, so many so grateful. And Will Carr joins us now from that warehouse. So how can people sign up for this, Will?
So that's a big question, Lindsay. Basically, if you live in a rural part of the country, all you have to do is contact your local school district, tell them that you want to apply for the Meals to You program. And at this point, this is in 38 states, like we mentioned, but they want to reach all 50 in the very near future.
And we can see people working busy right behind you. What are they doing there to ensure safety?
Yeah, every person in this warehouse has to be temperature checked. They all have to be wearing their PPE, including us. This is really the new reality for so many companies across the country.
And before you go, Will, you were speaking to economists today. What are they telling you about overall about the types of jobs being lost across the country and how long this can last?
That's right. We know that 1 in 5 working Americans is now unemployed over the past 2 months. I mean, think about that. 1 in 5. So this is something that is reaching all across the country in all industries. It's hitting all communities, and economists are telling us that it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Right.
Lindsay.
People who have never lined up for food are doing so now. Will Carr, thank you so much for that.
为人间。